Alright everyone, we're going to pick up Brittany's medicine. She is currently at the 22-week mark, and we know that we're having a boy. And in fact, go ahead and show y'all a picture that I have of the ultrasound. That's my boy. That's my boy right there. William Brand Langford. B-R-A-N-D-E. It's a Nordic name. And that's one that we both agreed that we liked. And for us, it's a derivative from the way that I'm a fire and brimstone style preacher. And if you go to any of my other videos, y'all be able to tell that what kind of preacher that I am. Very no nonsense. I'm gonna tell you what you need to know. But this is gonna be for our other channel, our Junk Wren's channel. We get to add another wren to the nest, basically. So, and I figured I'd give a few thoughts about the show Fear the Walking Dead. Now, I really like the show The Walking Dead a whole lot. I like it from the perspective of, okay, here's the zombies there, and I like zombie movies, I like zombie shows, especially that we're going to be coming up on Halloween. We're almost in October, in which that I'm going to need to do some horror movie reviews. And so if anybody has any ideas on the movies that they'd like for me to review, just put them in the comment section or hit us up on the Junk Wren's Facebook page. But I like the zombie shows. I do like The Walking Dead a whole lot. But also from interesting human perspective of natural disasters. Whenever you have a natural disaster, you always have the best and worst that come out at people. Case in point, Hurricane Katrina, a long time ago, you had folks in Mississippi, and it's not a color issue. It's before anybody tries to start jumping on that, it ain't that. But you had folks in Mississippi that just started, after the hurricane, they just started rebuilding. But then you had folks in New Orleans that they were caught up. Yes, it was a bad situation. They were caught up in the Superdome, but no one was forcing them to murder each other. No one was forcing them to rape each other and to steal. I mean, you'd have people wading waist deep in water carrying a big screen TV. It's utterly ridiculous. But I like looking at it from the perspective of, here's a natural disaster. It brings out the best and the worst in people. And and I really like the one that set the Walking Dead, the original show, the one that's set in the South. I guess it's just from a Southerner's perspective. But you know, we like our guns, so here in the South. And I like it because it's a much more realistic perspective for that area. Now, as far as Fear the Walking Dead goes, it's too early to really judge the show. The main character, I can see where he's coming from that part of the country, being heavily in the anti-gun crowd. And so I can see where they're coming from on it. But the main character just...
Watch this person.
I don't know. The main character really annoys me. He annoys me really to no end, because it's like he's really living in a denial of reality. Now, I'm not going to talk about the gun issue. That's more of a political issue, and I want to keep the channel kind of light and fun. But this guy is just stupid. I mean, here is it's not yet the zombie apocalypse, but he just saw a dude who had, this was an episode a few weeks ago, this drug dealer, basically, he gets shot, he's dead, he gets hit by a car, gets up again, he finally gets hit, just really ran over, got all tore up, and he's still sitting there just wanting to get to the people to eat them. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know, okay, you don't like guns, fine, but really, you want to have, you don't want to find something to use as a weapon? You just saw a dead guy get up and try to eat somebody, and you don't want a weapon. You're not going to tell your kids, your teenage son, teenage daughter, that, yeah, the dead have essentially come back to life. You're going to keep them in the dark. I mean, he's just really making a whole lot of dumb moves. And not going to talk necessarily anti-military per se, but just he's sitting there, and when the military comes in, he's thinking, okay, all these folks have come to save the day. Well, you know how it is with every zombie apocalypse show and movie. The military always gets overrun. He's honestly going to sit there and act like these people don't have families of their own. And really, it really shows the human nature in Shane in the first one. I'm not saying what he did to Otis was right by shooting him in the leg and leaving him for walker bait. But honestly, it just shows how real people act in the real world. If you don't have a relationship to somebody, and you have people that you do have relationships with depending on you, yeah, there's going to be some folks that'll be willing. You're going to be willing to shoot some folks in the leg and leave them for walker bait. It's kind of morbid thought, but that's how really a lot of people are. So anyway, the show was too early to judge. I liked the last episode that they had. It was Sunday's episode, because you had this one guy who was he was the insurance salesman who was in the detainment camp, and he actually, I don't want to use the term hook up, but he rescued, I guess befriended the drug addict son. And it's like, because he knows who has skills to survive a zombie apocalypse, and leave it to a drug addict to know where to scrounge for good stuff. And I'm not talking about drugs at that point. I mean, he knows how to scrounge to survive. So anyway, it's a pretty good show. Most of the characters are pretty good, except just the main character. Like I said, he just really annoys me at this point. Hopefully he'll wise up and start making some good decisions. And anyway, we're here at the store. We got to get Brittany's medicine, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video on off. Catch y'all later.